up this very nice event. So I have no clue. Oh, my slides are gone. I have no clue on what's happening, what's going to happen to Twitter, but I felt like giving it a shot and sharing a few ideas with you. Could I have the slides back? With a few predictions. So my name is Loic, and I do a company called Seesmic. We got 3 million downloads, 10,000 a day of Seesmic desktop that help people share on Twitter and Facebook and MySpace very soon. And we have a web-based version. So that's what I do, and we have mobile coming very soon. I think status updates, notice that I'm talking about status updates and not about Twitter, will reach masses of people, and it is already reaching masses of people because, as actually Jeff Pulver tweeted a few days ago, people will realize the value you get out of it. I needed, for example, a partnership at Air France, the carrier, the airline, for my conference to web, and I just posted a tweet, does anyone know anyone there? And in an hour, I got a contact the day after the partnership was done. And that is something that you learn by doing it. And as you learn, you can't stop doing that. That's of course business-wise, but of course you all understand how it helps you create a community around you. And I think it's only the time it takes to reach those people is for them to understand how much value there is in it. I think they won't, thank you very much, Kathy. I think they won't use the same tools as we do. I think tools, the apps which are here around right now, including Seesmic, won't be the ones that my mother uses. And we will see a lot of different apps coming out. I mean, seriously, look at your screens. I saw it recently, and mine is the same. It's kind of very geeky still. It's very, very complicated. Even explaining retweeting to someone is still complicated. So I think we're only at the beginning of something very big just because blogging was too complicated to do. Twittering and posting a status update is very easy. So many people will do it, but we have still to work on the apps. I consider what we did and what others have done on the ecosystem to be very, very early. We have to keep it simple, for example. It will not only be about Twitter. I have stolen this from Ping FM, the screenshot. I hope they will be fine with that. But obviously, there is Facebook, which is publishing 40 million updates a day. Twitter is, we don't know officially, but probably about the same. I was talking to Greg at Yahoo, who is here, who's saying they publish 800 million status updates a month, which is like 20 a day. I don't know about MySpace, but if you add all that, you realize that you have to be the center, not those tools. I think it's really about you saying what you're doing and realizing the value that this is, but not about sharing on Facebook or Twitter or MySpace or Yahoo. It's becoming very, very difficult actually. So I think it's about you and status updates, not really about the social software, the trend at least. I think Twitter will still be dominant, like a motherboard where we all plug in status updates. Obviously Facebook is huge, so I think Twitter will dominate that space, and that's probably worth more than $1 billion. I think we will laugh at when we had to, which is today, go to all of those sites to share. It's a pain, honestly. And we're working on helping solve that, supporting more and more of them. But I think it's really a pain, and we will laugh at that. It's going to change very fast. I think the social graph will also open up. So your friends, let's talk in non-geeky terms. Just your friends. Right now you have lists on apps and lists on Twitter now, and friends lists on Facebook and other social software. You have friends on LinkedIn. It's a pain, it's the same, it's exactly the same. You have buckets of friends that you start to arrange based on who is important, based on family, based on how we want to share, based on the level of privacy. And this is not right, it's the same. Why would you do that on LinkedIn? And then why would you do the same on Facebook? I think this will open up, and right now it's kind of a garden, a very closed garden from the social software that Twitter is also changing, contributing and changing, because the social graph in Twitter is entirely open, and you can get it, you can export it, you can do a lot with it, and it will open up in all social software the same way as Twitter made the status updates open through API, and you just heard MySpace pushing so much with it. Yahoo is doing the same again. Ning, without even announcing it, has status update support now. So contact management has to come. I I think Twitter will be big to get an idea of who a person is. And that's not only number of followers. I'm sure you're already looking at. Each time I meet someone, if it's important to me, I go and see if he tweets or she tweets. Why? Because I can think as she thinks. And that's, I think, very, very powerful. And it's not only about how many followers you have. We all know that there are many spammers and so on. But thinking as you think tells so much about you that I think it's very important in terms of reputation, who you are. I think Twitter will replace SMS for millions of people. It's already doing that. Just because it's portable, it archives across devices. You can throw your mobile phone and shift to another one. You don't need to remember a phone number, and you're not tied to a mobile operator. And I could quote 50 other reasons why we like to use direct messages, for example, instead of SMS. For some people, it's actually replacing chat.
Yep.
Have you seen in some clients how you have a chat-like UI when you do a direct message? It really, really looks like chat, actually. If you had Twitter list and you chat within a list, say of entrepreneurs in Santa Monica, you will have, by default, it will be a chat room, actually, of those. So I think it's going to also not replace chat, right, but replace some of the chat. Location will be, as Jeff was saying, one of the top status updates. I don't know if you've been playing with Foursquare, I'm sure you did, or Google Latitude. I did the experiment of leaving it on for 3 days. My BlackBerry beams my position live. And with my friends, with privacy, it's very interesting what happens. We know everything, who we are, where we are, and what we're doing. That's an interesting one, I think, at least for me. Private will be bigger than public.
Yeah.
And right now, Facebook is all private, Twitter is all public. And Facebook is catching up, like with the pages and so on, doing public, and Twitter is going to grow in private, I think, just because my kids say it. They don't get Twitter. And so Twitter has to adapt to touch kids as well. Public e-commerce won't work in public because people are not used to say why they bought this. If you bought, a car, if you bought except gadgets.